Okay. So so she and I went back to the room, and remind you, we checked in at what, 3:30. Um we ate, we did everything, right? He done left us and been gone. I think he left at about 6 o'clock. And so I done fed her again. It's 11 something, 12 something, something. It was late. And he comes in the room and he say, "Hey, I need some money because we finna go to the strip club." I'm like, wow, so you done left us in this room all day while you done been out with your family. I went off. I went off, and he basically was like, I was the bad guy. What was I made for? Let me go tell them you said I can't go. So now they're all under the assumption that I'm some type of control freak because he's not going to admit, like, yes, I was wrong. I shouldn't have left y'all here. Wow, that was so inconsiderate of me. No, he wasn't gonna say that. He didn't say that either. It was me. I was the problem because I responded to his inability to see that he had did what he did the way that he had did it, that way, that I was not a bad person. So what did he do? He got in the bed after he called him and went to sleep because he was mad because he felt like he couldn't go. I didn't say he couldn't go. I didn't even care. I said, the money over there, do what you do. Now that morning I got up, I left. Me and my daughter, we went to the mall. We went shopping. She went to play the little amusement park. Now his sister and I are very close. So she called me and was like, "Sister, where you at?" And I told her, and she said, "Why you leave me here?" I'm gonna tell y'all what she said. She said, "Why you leave me here with these people?" Now that's her family, okay? But she doesn't really, mess with them like she messed with me. And so she said, "Why you leave me here with them?" Now they did try to keep her from messing with me. They did try to keep her from building a relationship with me. But she told them, like, basically no, because she got to know me for herself. She didn't allow anybody to tell her who I was or to give her um an idea of who I was. She got to see me for myself, and over the years I've never changed, and I love my little sister. Okay, I love her. Um, and so she said, "Why you leave me here? Come get me." So I did. I went and got her, and we went, and we went. We was getting ready to go get tattoos. Okay, and he called and was like, "Can you ask?" He called and said, "Is your sister with you?" And she said, "Yeah." So she didn't know that I wasn't talking to him. So she said, "Here, he wants you." So I said, "What?" He said, "Can you bring my shoes?" I took him his shoes up to the park they were setting up. And so when I got there to give him his shoes, he was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Nothing. Nothing at all. Here go your shoes." And then my daughter was like, she wanted us to stay. So we stayed because she wanted to play with other kids. Although she was told the night before at the fish fry that she wasn't part of the family and so she wasn't able to play with other kids by this cousin who likes to keep up shit. Okay. We wasn't invited. We wasn't shown when they invited everybody up to be introduced. We wasn't introduced. Like everybody else was introduced. He went up, but he didn't say, "Hold on, y'all. Let me go get my wife that's in the car," because I drove all the way to Memphis from Nebraska. That's where we were living at the time. I drove all the way from Nebraska to Memphis, and we drove straight there. And it was a flood, and so it was like 16 hours, and I did not sleep. Nope. So I was tired. I was tired. Let me not say I drove all the way. He drove until it was light. Because once the light come up, I can drive the rest. And so he drove like 5 hours. And so I drove 11, 12 hours straight. So now I was in the car asleep. He didn't come and get me from the car and say, "Hey, wake up. Let me introduce you." He didn't do that. My nose is itching because a bug touched me. So now I did get waken up though because my daughter came and told me that she couldn't eat because the lady that's in there said that she couldn't, and she also wasn't able to play with anybody, so she was bored because the lady in there told them that she wasn't their cousin. Okay, y'all. So of course I go in there and I get my husband to tell him this, thinking that okay, maybe he's going to say something. And so he takes her over and he tells her to play with the kids, and he tells the kids that they can play with her. Me myself, I'm thinking correct her, not the children. The children will follow. Correct her. Make her go and tell the children this because she's the loud one in the family. You know what I'm saying? She's the loud one that everybody is afraid of and everybody don't want no problems with. She's that person. I'm not caring about that at all. I'm not, okay? So tell her that this isn't what she wants. Okay? So I gotta pick. Do do I wanna show this side of me or do I want to remain quiet? Where do I want to stand? Well, I'm still. Oh, FYI, I'm still not married to Damien yet. So I want to. I still want to be his wife, right? So I want to be a little quiet. Oh, some things are harder to do. They are harder to do. So, um, I don't say nothing. I let him do the talking. Be a little quiet. Everybody thinking what they thinking about me. Nobody's talking to me. Nobody's saying anything but my sister. And one of his cousins, she does talk to me. Nobody else. Everybody else is friends with his ex or knowing of his ex. And so they're all like, well, where do I stand here? That's fine with me. I understand. So we stay at this picnic. Now they're getting ready to eat. My daughter's hungry. Now I have to pay dues for her to eat. And I ain't eating this food. I don't care. I've never eaten the food there. Okay. This is who I am. But my daughter is hungry and I didn't pay for her to eat, so she's gonna eat. Well, this lady that I'm talking about tells everybody that they can eat and tells her she needs to wait. Now I see her do this and I ain't gonna be quiet. So what I do, I go and I grab a plate and I grab the utensils and I make my baby a plate and I give it to her. That's it. Because if you don't want her to eat, now tell me she can't eat. Take the plate from me, badass. Do that. Tell me what you just told her. Because I walked right in front of her as she was doing that. I didn't stand behind her and wait for her. I walked right in front of her, took the plate right next to her, and I made my child a plate. Remind you, I fight fire with fire. So I look to be aggressive. I look to be this evil, controlling woman, I guess. I don't know what I look like. But I know what I'm not. It's a pushover. I also know that I'm not about to allow anybody to make my child feel like they're less than because I know what that feels like. So you're not going to do that to mine. Okay? So now she eats. I have one of his cousin asked me, she says, because don't nobody know who I am. Nobody know because I haven't been introduced to anybody in there. Okay, only person know who I am is his sister and the people who were in Chicago, who live in Chicago. They know who I am. Nobody else knows who I am. Nobody else. So his cousin says, "Who are you? We don't know who you are. Who are you here with?" And I said, "No, I was married to Damien because I said I'm Damien's wife." And the lady said, "Well, what happened to his other wife, baby?" When I tell you I fell out, I said, "Well, I guess she gone." She was an older woman. I was not gonna be disrespectful, But I just didn't know how else to respond because I thought if I'm here, then clearly she's gone. But you know what? Maybe he had two wives. I don't know. People do that. I'm not even opposed to it. Okay. So um maybe that's what she thought. Maybe he had another because she was like, where's his other wife? And I was like, you know what? I don't know. I'm here. So I don't know. So I let it be. But it bothered me, right? That whole weekend bothered me. So we got in the car to come home. He did what he did best. He blamed me. He made me feel bad for reacting the way that I did, for feeling the way that I felt. You make me feel like I wanted to just I wanted to die. I was like, oh wow. You left me at the gas station and you made me feel like this. And what he said, he felt like he wanted to kill himself. That's it. I was like, dang. Because of something you did? Shut your mouth and keep on talking. At that time I didn't laugh, right? I was just like, for what? What did you want to kill yourself for? Like what did I do to you that made you want to kill yourself? But you know what I did is I started taking the blame for why he wanted to kill himself. I started putting it on to me for me being the problem that he wanted to kill himself. And that is how our relationship continued to keep going. It was always me. Everything that happened was my fault. It was because of something I had done. And now I needed to take care of him. I needed to make sure he was okay. I needed to make sure that he felt comfortable. I needed to make sure of these things. And I'm noticing this and I'm losing me every day because I don't feel good. I don't feel wanted, loved, protected, comfortable. I don't feel that. I don't. I don't. I felt so. Maybe let me tell y'all how ugly I felt. I knew how pretty all of his other women were. I knew how pretty other women he had never even been with were. I knew how sexy other women were. How sexy the other women that he was with were. I knew everything. I had never heard that man call me pretty. He had never told me I was pretty. I was beautiful. I was anything. As a woman, I desired to know that I was wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a woman and you listening to this, you put on that dress and you go around your man, you want him to look at you and be like, damn, shit, you killing that dress. You know what I'm saying? Like that ass is assing and them titties is tittying. Them legs is legging. Okay, and them hips, baby. I'm putting babies in them. That's what you want. You know what I'm saying? It make you feel good to know that that man admires and love and sees and cherishes you like no other. Nah, baby, I wasn't getting that. Told y'all I was just in this relationship. I didn't even notice it. Even at this time when we go to this family reunion, I'm still not noticing it. This is before the baby, just in case y'all didn't realize that. I'm taking care of him. I'm making sure he's okay. When he said that he felt like that, now I can't be hostile towards him no more. I can't be loud towards him anymore. I can't express my feelings towards him anymore. I can't feel this type of way. I just now need to protect myself when I go around his family. That's what happened. He let me know that I wasn't safe with him with them. So now I need to protect me from them with him. That's what he let me know. So now every time they see me, I'm on guard. And he don't know why. Because he told me that I needed to be. Because other than that, I was gonna make him uncomfortable. I was gonna make him feel bad. I was gonna, be embarrassing to him. I was gonna be something that she wasn't. Everybody loved what I would tell him, yo, precious B. I wasn't precious B. I was tall. I didn't have long hair because I cut all my hair off also. I didn't have long hair. I wasn't light. I like to be outside. I stay in the sun. I'm not light. I'm darker than what they were. I wasn't short. I had children. I was just all the negative things you can think about. So yeah, I developed a wall, and I needed to protect myself with him. And yeah, I was never afraid to go outside publicly with him and other people because he would protect me with other people, but with them, nah, it wasn't happening. So his family never really seen me relax. They never will either. I'm gonna let you know that now. The ones that I don't bother loving always see me relaxed. That one of them is my brother. I can't stand him. I don't call him my brother-in-law. That's really my brother. Like I can't stand him. You know what I'm saying? Like we fight like cats and dogs, but that's really my brother. That's my brother-in-law. That's his brother, but that's really my brother. You know what I'm saying? And his sister, that's really my sister. That's his sister, but that's really his sister. Those two are my sister and brother, not my brother-in-law or my sister-in-law. I don't refer to them that way. I love them too. So they see me how I am. I'm relaxed with them. I'm okay with them. Them other ones can kiss my entire ass. Now, it's some of them that I'm cool with. I'll be around, but I'm not 100% comfortable with them because they're related to her. She has she just has that influence over the people that are in her circle because of that loud mouth. That loud mouth kept people feeling a certain type of way, and I hate that because I feel like they're now all adults and they don't run that way. But unfortunately, I never got to really let them see me for me. So it's still that guard is still there. But I'll be around them and I'll be okay. But that's as far as I go. So I want to be wanted. I want somebody to see me. I want somebody to love me. I want to be kissed. I want to be touched. I am outside playing with peasants, and I do mean when I say peasants. I am a very much so. Y'all see how I keep rubbing my nose? A bug touched me, and so now I feel like there's a bug on me, right? I'm a very clean person. I like a certain type of man. I like certain things. And the man that I am being entertained by, I would have never let this man touch me in a million years ever. I didn't have any sexual encounter with him, but he gave me so much attention that it felt so good to just be wanted. Like he would see me and he would just be like, "She's so pretty." He would always tell me that. He would kiss me all the time too, because he thought my lips was just so pretty. Stop kissing me, and I would let him kiss me. And God in heaven knows, if I wasn't in the state of mind that I was in, I would have never let that man put his lips on me. Like, you don't even brush your teeth, do you? Because he don't even take a bath. Like nothing about this man said that he was clean enough to be with me. Nothing. Go away. So I found myself spending a lot of time with him, spending a lot of time with girls who was around people like him, so that way I could be with him. These are girls I would have never talked to outside of this state of mind. I would have never talked to them. These are not people that I would interact with. They're not because I'm better than them. They're just not my type of people. Drugs and young, immature. I wasn't there. a lot of chaos and drama and confusion, a lot of competing against each other, a lot of comparing. It wasn't my state of mind, and I found myself getting into those type of things because I was lonely. So I was put in a very vulnerable place because I wanted to be okay. I just wanted to be okay. So here I go having this baby that I think is going to make everything right and better for him. And I found out he was still in love with his ex, which I think I already knew, but I ignored it. Right, I ignored all those what y'all calling them now, red signs. I ignored it, all the red flags. I ignored every last one of them. They was right there, just flying right across in my face. And and I was like, that sign, that flag, that ain't red. That's like a royal purple. It's such a pretty flag. No, it was red. It was red. It was red. It was blood red. Okay, it was red. It was like, hey, I'm here. It almost had fire on it and sparks to let me know it was there. And I just was like, I'm not paying this no attention. I love that man. Whew, my God. So I shut down, but he apologized. I took him back. I let it happen again and again and again and again. I continued to keep wanting to make him happy. I continued to keep wanting to make him comfortable. And I kept seeing myself as I'm the problem. It's me. What I'm asking for is too much. It is too much. I am too needy. I want him to touch me. I want him to spend time with me. I want him to talk to me. I don't want him to be on his phone all day. He'll come in the house, sit on his phone from the time that he walked in the door till he went took his shower till he ate dinner and back on his phone. There was no conversation. It was very lonely. It was very lonely. So I said, okay. So now I'm having these anxiety attacks and I'm dealing with everyday life. I live in North Fork, Nebraska, by the way. If anybody knows anything about North Fork, Nebraska, and can see the skin tone that I carry, then you know that my life was hard there. I worked with the people in the community because he suggested I go to school. That was his suggestion. So when I went to school, I decided I wanted to do something in mental health. Remember, I told you all that when she took me to the psychiatrist, I told him that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a psychiatrist. I got to school and found out I don't want to be a psychiatrist. I didn't like the fact that they sat there and just listened to people and then gave them medication. So I changed it. So I went into human service counseling. That's why I got my master's in. I have a master's in human service counseling. So I'm called plenty of niggas, called plenty of bitch niggas. I am called plenty of niggas all the time. I am being discriminated towards just for being black. I got people that don't want to do business with me because I'm black. I got claims coming up against me because I'm black and black women are considered to be angry. And so if they said I did something, I most likely did because I fit the description, even though I never did. I I'm stressed out. I have a child who Had to go through some stuff by being in Nebraska. Like I said, that's not my story to tell. But I have these children there who hate it because they're not seen like everybody else is seen. They're not accepted how everyone else is accepted. I'm dealing with that, trying to stay strong for them, trying to lead and guide them in the right direction. Also trying to stay strong for myself and stay strong for him. I realize I don't even care about myself no more. I'm just staying strong for them. And I'm just letting things build up. When I come home, I thought he was going to be like my place of comfort where I can relax and be okay. I can be vulnerable. I can be weak and, you know, gain the energy to start tomorrow. Now I had to do more taking care of him than taking care of me, and I never really got taken care of. I just poured and poured and poured into everybody, everyone, everything. I spent so many of my days just crying. I felt, I felt like I've always felt like I didn't matter. So what was the purpose of him caring now? It was really hard. I now have a child with him. I've also been pregnant 5 other times and had miscarriages. I'm constantly going through that. Um, I never took a moment to just sit back and take care of me. I never took a second to just process everything. I just assumed I was the problem and I was going to change. No matter how much I changed, he didn't. I remained a problem. It was always my fault. I was too aggressive. I was too outspoken. My tone was too harsh. I was too of everything. That was just me. I was never allowed to just be me. As relaxed as I thought I was in this relationship, I was very, very much so uncomfortable. I went back to using my body to get that relief that I needed. I thought if I gave him sex, if I, did all this, it would help. Thought it would make everything right. because everything else I tried didn't work. It didn't work. So that was the only thing I had, and that was the only time that we could reconnect was that way. I just wanted to connect with him. I just wanted to be with him. I would feel so bad and so lonely that at times that I would think that if he left, I would just die because I thought my world was revolved around him. I just needed him to just talk to me one time, just tell me how I really felt. He would tell me I don't want to be here. They'd be like, well, if you don't want to be here, why are you here? Because he's saying that now. Because you never said that in the beginning. In the beginning, you was like, if I didn't want to be here, I wouldn't be here. But now he said I never wanted to be here. Why was you here? It's like it's so confusing. It would always come back to though, I don't want to be here because I feel like I'm never gonna be the man you need me to be or want me to be. It comes back to being on me. It's never because of whatever is going on with him. It's never him. It's always me. It's always something about me. Like me. It's me. Him staying is because of me. Him leaving is because of me. Everything is on me. So this last time I had a baby, we're in Texas now, by the way, you all. I get a chance to take a break. And this break may not have been for the good of anybody because this break wasn't given to me. I took it. I gave birth to her. She's 3 years of age. And I went through postpartum depression. I wanted to kill her as well as kill myself. And thank God for my daughter for saying, wait, what are you doing? Because I would have. I heard that she was bad. Yeah, my nose is itching bad now, okay. I heard that she was bad. I heard that everything about her was not good. She was causing my boobs to bleed, but she wasn't. But that's what I thought when I looked down. I thought I seen, blood there. It was no blood there. I was hallucinating and delusional often. I seen things that wasn't there. I heard things that wasn't being said. He became her parent. I wasn't her parent. I didn't want her to touch me. It hurt when she touched me. I couldn't stand this baby. I didn't want no more kids with him. I didn't want any more kids. We were supposed to get a divorce. We were supposed to separate. And I'm sure that would have led up to the divorce. And we didn't. Instead, I got pregnant. I was ready to live a very unselfish life where I did not take care of people no more. My children were old enough to fend for themselves. I didn't have to take care of them. Well, my 13-year-old, I did, but everybody else no, and I was fine with that. I wanted to just take care of me at this point. I was in a very selfish era. I was tired of feeling like a burden to everybody. So I was ready to be by myself. And I got pregnant. Now I can't be by myself because I got this baby that need me to take care of her. And I resented that baby needing me. I didn't want to be needed by her. She was actually my baby. I couldn't give her back. I didn't want that. I didn't want that connection. I didn't want that bond. I wanted her to go away so I could live my life. I was also scared that she was gonna die anyway from all the miscarriages. I just thought she was gonna die, so I was living in that fear as well. So here she is needing me to take care of her because she ain't die. I don't want to take care of her. I didn't want her to die either, but I didn't want to take care of her. So I gotta take care of her. I resented her as a baby, so in my mind it told me that my boobs was bleeding when I fed her, and told me that it was she was bad and she needs to die. I never suffered with that. Never really dealt with anybody with it either. So I didn't understand until I called one of my colleagues and they told me, "You're not working?" I said, "No," because I was at home. And she said, "Oh, it sounds like you got postpartum depression because you can think now." I said, "Oh, wow." I'm a busybody. I stay busy for a reason. As long as I stayed busy, I really didn't get to notice anything that was around me. Right. I got to go to work and deal with other people's problems, so I didn't have to deal with mine. I got to go to work and care about other people, so I didn't have to care about me. That was my way of filling my cup, right? I'm giving, I'm pouring into everybody but myself. And so I didn't need to pour into me because I'm pouring into them. And so I'm fine. I'm good. As the kids will say, I'm Gucci. Now I'm not. Now I got to actually think about me, what I'm doing. So I look up postpartum depression and I see what it's about. So I'm trying to tell myself, okay, I can do this. You know, worst counselor is your own counselor. But I did it. I did it. I did pretty good. Okay, I did it. I did pretty good. I helped me a lot. Because the only person I was gonna lie to if I didn't was myself, right? I would have went to counseling and lied to that person. Can't lie to yourself. So I did it. Caught myself helping myself for the first time in my entire life. I really helped myself. During this time, my husband had started talking to some young lady he worked with, and this is when work on me starts. I realized that my husband is a liar. He's a manipulator. He's selfish. And everything he's ever really done has been for his own gratification. So now I need to worry about me. So I had to get myself in order. I had to love this baby. I had to take care of this baby. This baby need me. This baby didn't ask to come here. I got to get it together. So I did. I did. I got it together. And I'm not sure if the people around me like the way I got it together because that healing that came with this, it closed some doors for some other people. It closed some doors for some other things. It closed some doors. And I walk different. I talk different. I act different. So being with Cunningham, I lost me. I was on the verge of losing me. Right as I got ready to completely let go of me, a rope was thrown down and I pulled myself up. And I realized some things. And I realized how you fit into my life. And I want y'all to know before I end this, dealing with him has been by far the hardest. He said dealing with me was by far the hardest relationship he's ever had. And it dawned on me why. He's right, it was. Because the entire time I held him accountable. Didn't realize that I was doing it, but I did. I held him accountable. I let him know every time something happened that you wasn't perfect. I don't give a damn what anybody told you. You wasn't perfect. I inspired him to be a better man. I inspired him to fight internally with a war that he was dealing with. I inspired him to do things nobody else ever done because everybody else says, you know what, I'm done. I'm not doing this. I'm leaving. I'm not finna deal with this. This guy's retarded. It's crazy. I'm not doing this. What? Who should have to deal with this? His quiet mannerism fool people. Mannerism, that is. Mannerism. It fooled people. It made them believe things about him that wasn't true. But that's how he wants you to see him. Then that way you don't see the truth. You just see what he allows you to see. You don't see the true him. As long as he stays quiet and nobody sees that. I was living with the devil himself. The mean man. I told him, you know why we never had a son? I had got to a point where we could see what the sex of the babies were. They were boys. We had a set of twins. They were both boys. In one bag, so they were both boys. I told him you would have been no good for a boy. I had a son. He was no good for him because he was so damaged as a man from when he was a boy. Like I said, that's his story. I won't tell it. But I felt it. I felt it. I felt that. I've never been hurt by a man like that. I love that man. I still love that man. And that man never loved me. I slept with that man. I gave that man everything. And he resented me. Didn't trust me. I don't think he still trusts me. But he supports me. I don't know, somebody is going to say, you still with him? Yep. Yep. I'm still with him because that's where I want to be. That's who I love. Ain't no abuse. Ain't no mistreatment. Ain't no me biting my tongue. There is no me being the me I was before a year ago. So yes, I'm still there. Now, like I said, I don't know if he like it. He may not stay. I don't know. Nor do I care. I'm never going to change the way I love him. So I am still there. I am. I am still there. I am very much still in love with this man. I still want to be under him, over him, around him, through him. But I will not allow him to make me feel like I am less than. I know I am a beautiful woman inside and out. I know I am strong. I know I am willing. I know I'm daring. I know I'm challenging. I know that. I know that. I don't look for him to validate that anymore. I don't look for him to tell me the things that I already know. In this year of me taking back control of my life, I've learned so much about me. And the things that I learned is why I changed my profession from going into therapy and going into coaching. I've always been a teacher. I've always wanted to help people learn things from a different scope of understanding. In therapy, we have to do things a little different. And so I wanted to change that. During this time, I realized some things about myself I'm not willing to change because that's who I am. He tell me all the time, and he just said this to me yesterday. You don't understand, it's your tone. And I told him, that's a you problem. You're sensitive to my tone because of something that's going on with you, not with me. And I'm not changing my tone because you're sensitive to it. I'm not doing that. I did before. I calm it down. I wouldn't say a certain thing, or I wouldn't say anything at all. That's not even who I am. I fight fire with fire. So if you give it to me, I'm gonna give it back. I'm gonna even ask you before I give it back to you. Was that intended to be that way? Hmm. I want to know so I know exactly how to give it to you. Okay? I want to know. I got control. I'm in full control of me. I want to know so I know. No, it wasn't. Oh, okay. Now what's going on? Talk to me. Tell me. That way I can help you to see that what you just did was this, and that. And if you see me as the mirror that I am to you, then you can say, oh, shoot, I did not try to do that. Let's change that. How do I change that? Or how does this happen? Or whatever the case may be. So when he said that, I said, that's a you problem. And you trying to make it a me problem. That ain't on me. I'm not changing my tone. This is how I talk. This is who I am. And so if I become a little excited or a little hyper, it's because I'm passionate about what I do. It's not intent to hurt you. If I tell you something, I'm not telling you to hurt you. I'm telling you so that you can see it from my point of view and see what my eyes see that you're doing. So you can say, oh, that ain't what I meant to show. So you can make the correction that you need to. But unfortunately, a lot of people can't do that because, see, there's something internally going on with them and they're not yet ready to own that, acknowledge that that's there. And those people need my sisters and brother in therapy because they get to look from a different angle. That's not me. I don't want to deal with that. Okay. I want to meet you where you are right now. I'm not going to pause this one and start over because we're going into a new scene of things. I'm getting ready to explain to you how Never Alone came about. I just gave you the background, which you got 3, 4 hours of my background. In finding myself, I realized I had been finding myself. I just been ignoring some of the things that I knew. I understand that the past exists. I understand the role it plays, but I don't want to deal with the past. The past is like a handle that we use to walk up and down, to go across, to get over, to go through. We never let it go though. We never let that past go because we hold it for our security to be able to do what we need to do, to be able to be the people that we want to be. If I want to be an asshole, I'm going to hold on to what Ruby taught me. That way I continue to be an asshole. I do that because that's what my mama taught me. That excuse comes about, right? I do that because that's all I know. I do that because I want to do it. I like the way it feels. I don't care that it hurt anybody. I don't care that you don't like it. I do it. I want to work with people like that. Those are the people I love. Those that can admit that they do what they do, but they know it's not right. So I need to change it, though. I need to change it because I'm going to lose everything if I don't. That mindset of thinking that way is the individuals that I want. I don't want the people who feel I do it because of this and I'm not changing because that makes me feel good because they're looking for excuses to stay in the same predicament that they're in. And that's where my sisters and brothers in therapy come in. So I thought, let me give you the understanding to the difference between therapy and coaching. Let's use the sports analogy of therapy and coaching. Individuals who get hurt on the field are sent to the therapist, right? They go to the doctor, the nurse, and they say, "Oh yeah, you're gonna have to do this and that for a little while. We're gonna send you to physical therapy." Okay. So in life, what happens is that people go through some things, then they meet some people, and that person say, "Oh yeah, you got some stuff going on. You need to go to therapy." Okay. When they get to the doctor, the doctor says these X-rays show this is the net. Okay. So now they send them X-rays over to the therapist, and the therapist say, "Oh man, you tore your, I don't know what these joints called. I'm gonna say something that don't even make no sense. Auricula. I don't know what an auricula is. I'm sure an auricula don't even exist because I don't know what anything is. I just know you can tear something in that body. That is not my field. Don't laugh at me too hard. But you tore your auricula. I don't know what an auricula is. I don't even know if that's a word. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's not. But you tore it, right? So now here you are, and they're going to help you to strengthen it so that it can now perform to the place it needs to be for you to go back out to the coach and get on the field. So now in life, you met this individual and they say, hey, you got some stuff going on. You need to go to therapy. And so you go to therapy and you sit down with this person and the therapist say, what are you seeing? What are you seeing? Oh man. And they write it all down and they say it sounds like, whatever, whatever. In that assessment, they are looking for the background history to find out what happened. And they say, okay. You leave, and that therapist get that person together to go out into the world. They help them to strengthen that inner thing that is causing them to act out in the behaviors and the ways and the mentality that they are acting. And then they go out into the world. When they go out into the world, some of them say, you know what, I got all the tools I need. I'm good. I don't need no more. Some of them say, you know what, a little bit extra won't help, won't hurt. Or go get me a coach, and then that way they can show me exactly how to use this particular tool that I was given. I'll give you an example of what I'm saying when I say tools and coaching. When you go into therapy with the therapist, the physical therapist, they give you a ball. Remember that auricular? What, I don't even know what I said. You throw and it hurts. So they keep giving you a ball. They give you a small ball, right? You throw it. They give you one a little bit bigger. You throw it, a little bit bigger. You throw it, a little bit bigger. You throw it. Now they got you back to the original size and you're throwing it. They rebuild that. They give you the tools to constantly strengthen it until you can throw it like you're supposed to throw it. Okay. However, they leave you with those tools. They're not showing you outside exactly how to put those tools in place. One of the reasons is because we are not 100% honest when it comes to what we're really going through with our therapist. So it's a little different when I talk to my coach and my coach say, but I threw the ball like this. And the coach say, no, no, no. You don't throw the ball like that. You grab it, you hold it. You see these lines here? You put your fingers in between the lines and you grip it. You see, like that. Back here. No, put your arm here. Then you throw it with such. You're using your shoulder more than you are using your hand. You're going to take it with your shoulder and you're going to release it at your wrist. Okay? They're going to break down now the tools that they gave you. So when you're in therapy, they say, if you notice a trigger, write it down. Right? Write it down. Let's talk about that trigger. You're going to get to the inner piece of that trigger. How that trigger has affected you. What they're doing is letting you know that that trigger exists. When you see that trigger, these are the things that you could do. This is how you can do it. And that's it. Now, in exposure therapy, it gets a little different, right? Because they walk you through it. That's another coaching. They're walking you through everything that you can do and holding your hand. They're walking you through. But in therapy and there, they're just giving you the tools and you're going to see it. But you're not going to honestly be able to demonstrate exactly how that looks because you're not on the field with the coach. So you have individuals that come out and they say, a coach won't hurt. So that's where the coaches come in at. That's what I want to do. I don't want to work with the past. I want you to tell me what you're dealing with right now. I want you to tell me where you're stuck at right now. But in order for me to be able to do that, you have to know yourself, meaning you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be accountable for what you're truly feeling and not say, well, I think it's this. I know. I know. If you come around me and you do anything like Ruby, I tell you, you acting just like Ruby. I'm going to go ahead and go on over there because I know I'm going to treat you just like this because what I do not allow anyone to do is treat me like Ruby would treat me. I do not. So I call it out. I realized that both of my husbands, my ex and my current, carried Ruby's characteristics. So I was taught to take care of people. So what did I do? I think I was supposed to take care of them. I went in and I took care of them. I just didn't love my first one. Sometimes I wish I would have because he was a great man. We did great together. We grew up together. I think I could have did good for him. I think I'd have been well with him. But myself, I was even broken. I was no good for no man. I was no good for anybody. So if I went and talked to somebody, I blamed it all on him. Everybody got that he was a bad person because he hit me. I didn't tell people like I called him a bitch. You a bitch ass nigga with a fucking crackhead for a mama. Get the hell out of my face. I never told people I belittled him and I degraded him and I made him feel less than. I never told people how I made him feel like he wasn't shit. I kick him out the house because I paid the bills. Get the fuck out. It's my house. Go on over there. Fuck you. I never told him that. I just said he hit me. Karma. I got it back then. I got it back. I got it back. I never told anybody the truth. I made it like this guy was a horrible person. He wasn't. I made that guy a horrible person. Now, he didn't have to respond that way, but we're not going to get into that. His actions were his actions for my actions. And for every action, there's a reaction. I have to be responsible for my action because I don't get to pick the consequence or the reaction of the other individual. You can't smack a person and then say that person was supposed to shoot you. You do not get to pick that. You don't know. You don't get to pick it. You don't get to pick it. So I don't get to pick the reaction of my actions. I have to be responsible for them. That was how he dealt with it. That's what he knew, I guess. That's how he felt, I guess. I don't know. Whatever it was, it worked for him. Or it didn't. I don't know. Whatever. It worked for him at that time. However. So that's what I do. That's what I do. I want to do people that can start right now. That can say, I'm a messed up person. And I messed up because of this. I'm going to say, oh God, you ain't that bad. You ain't that bad. Ain't nobody that bad. Everybody can be helped. But those who are still blaming other people and not able to see that they're not perfect, I'm going to refer you all to one of my lovely therapists. It's not that I can't do the work. Now, granted, I haven't taken the NCE. I didn't pass my NCE the last time by 3 points. I don't even think I'm gonna take it. I don't really want to be bothered with the ACA. Okay, I don't. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to be bothered with them, and I don't. I prefer to be able to help people who know that there's something wrong, who can't wholly solely get the help that they need because they either don't have the money or they don't have the insurance or they don't have the resources or they just don't trust the idea of going in and talking to a therapist. I get that too. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. So I'm not mandated under a lot of things being a coach as individuals are as being a therapist. Yes, I still have to report abuse and sexual assault and things of that such. But I mean, How many people are really gonna come to me and say that, you know, you'll pick right. You'll know where to go. You'll know to go to a pastor or a priest and tell them that you know not to come to me. You better find a lawyer. Okay? That's all I'm gonna say. So I don't like to deal with those people because I know that I don't have the tone of comfort. I'm very straightforward. You ever had a coach, then you know. You ever played any sports? Your coaches are not talking. No, no, you can do it. It's okay. Take your time. They like, hurry the fuck up and throw the ball. What are you doing? Why are you holding it? It's a clock. Move. You know what I'm saying? Like your coaches ain't looking to pacify you. That was my biggest thing and everything is that people needed to be pacified. I'm tired of pacifying people. I am tired of trying to soothe people over and get them into a place of comfort in order for them to relax and be comfortable to say what they need to say. I am ready for people who are ready. That's what I'm ready for. I'm ready for that. I am ready. Even if you don't think you're ready, you come in and you say, I don't know how I'm gonna take what you're gonna tell me. Okay. Tell me what you need to tell me, and I'm gonna tell you if you can take it or not. Because either I can be, I mean, there are so many different ways to go about doing things, but the one thing that is never going to change is my tone. When I tell you, I'm gonna tell you like, whew, huh, you ain't gonna like this one, because the problem is you. Hmm. Or I'm gonna say, whew, man, it's gonna be a hard pill to swallow, but you're not the problem, but you play a great deal in being a problem. It's the tone that people couldn't always take. My kids would even say, if you can get past her tone, you can hear what she got to say. She has a word to be said. I'm not changing my tone. My tone is a tone of survival. I've been surviving my whole life. I've had to put up little bricks of walls and protect myself for forever. Shutting down and not feeling is a sign of protection. Be associating for things is a sign of protection. Not talking is a sign of protection. Doing, pleasing, using is a sign of protection. It's all a sign of protection. And now I don't do that anymore. I'm not using anybody, and I'm not letting anybody use me. So you can't come and tell me anything. I don't. When I'm tired and don't want to be bothered with it, I can tell you today ain't that day. You have to call tomorrow. Let me give you somebody else's phone, and let me let you call them. I'm gonna build a team of people around me that are semi thinkers like myself, so that we can say, "Hey, I don't want to be bothered today. You take the phone line," and they say, "No, I don't want it either," and they say, "Well, who is equipped to take the phone today?" And they can say, I'm pretty good. You take the phone, because we don't want to ever leave anyone alone. The idea of what we are doing here is being to people what other people were not to us. What we're doing with Never Alone, we are giving you something that you cannot get 24 hours. In therapy, you cannot have a person with you at all time, because we don't want you in therapy to come dependent on the therapist to do the thinking for you. In coaching, we almost do the thinking for you. I said throw the ball, throw the ball. Hmm. That's what therapy and coaching is the difference. In therapy, I don't want you to depend on me. I want to tell you, and then I want you to do. It may be a little hard to do, right? And so you go outside and you get your coach and you say, how do I just do this? Throw the ball. I don't know how you do it. Pick it up, throw it. Pick the ball up and throw the ball. Here, pick the ball up and throw it. Now you did it. See, you did it. You did it. I didn't do it. You picked it up. I just told you to, but you did it. Now every time you see that ball, what you want to do? You want to pick it up. Why? Because you know you can. It's not too heavy. It's not too heavy. You can pick it up. You can do it on your own. It's not too heavy. It's not too much. You can do it. I just gave you that extra boost of being able to pick that ball up having that confidence to do it. And not worried about what anybody gonna say. You threw the ball wrong. So I threw it. Because what other people think of you isn't gonna matter anymore. It's gonna be all about you. You won't think about, are they watching? How many people was over there? Did they see me throw that ball? You're not gonna think about that. You're gonna think about the fact I picked up the ball, because you're gonna celebrate you. You're gonna learn how to celebrate you, and everything you do is gonna become a victory for you, because every day you're gonna rediscover something inside of you that you thought you lost. It's been there all along. It's been there. Nothing about you is gonna be new to you. I want to tell y'all more about that, but then if I tell you more about that, then that's basically everything that I need to tell y'all. Then I gotta tell y'all good, and y'all don't need me. I want to still get paid. I want to still eat too, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do it completely for free, but I do want to get back to you all. And I want to be rewarded as well. It is what it is. You know, I don't want to just give away all the information and then somebody else be like, well, let me go get paid for it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But I don't want to turn you away. So that don't mean that if you come and ask me something, I'm not gonna give you that information, because I am. I am. I'm not a gatekeeper to anything. I'm going to give you all the information you need so you can be a better person. And if all you can do is donate, a can of corn to us so that we can feed a family who may not be able to, then we're going to take that can of corn. All you got is a bag of rice, a loaf of bread, you got milk, you got a couple of Pampers, you got some wipes, you got soap, you got detergent. We're going to take it, because then we can still make sure that somebody else is taken care of. We can still do that. And you can still be taken care of as well. And then when you can do more, you do more for us, and we continue to do more for you. There's other things we can do. So, and never alone, we're looking to build around the communities that we're going to deal with and be with, to help them to be better, to coach them into finding what they think they have lost, because you haven't lost anything. It's all there. Everything that we need, we have learned as children. Everything. Yep, everything. We just got to find out how to find them, how to use them. So before you come to me or any other coach, I want you to first seek ye yourself. Look down and say to yourself, am I ready for somebody to tell me what to do? Am I ready for somebody to look at me and say, you fat? Can I take them telling me that? Let me tell y'all something. Uh, the worst thing in my life, I'm sorry, look, remember I told y'all my knee is knocked out, right? So I have to wait. It has to strengthen. I can't like put it all the way back just yet. In a minute I can. But the worst thing in my life was having this right here, right? And so I would go outside and I would be so ashamed of showing it, because oh my God, people are gonna see my fat stomach. Baby, I look, I don't care how y'all see my stomach. I don't care. That's my stomach. I gotta deal with it. I got to carry that stomach around, not you or anyone else. So why do I care how you see me and my fat stomach? That is not something that I am going to worry about. What I'm going to worry about is making sure that my fat stomach isn't hurting anyone. I'm not going to lay it on the child's head, you know what I'm saying? But as far as anything else, my fat stomach isn't bothering anybody. So somebody to come in and say to me, your biggest problem is in your stomach. Am I prepared to hear that? Or am I going to be like, no, it's not. It's in my knee. And if it wasn't for him kicking me in my knee, I would be able to go out and lose the weight that I need to lose. What? We talking about you gaining weight. You talking about him kicking you on your knee. That's some unhealed problems. And so if you respond to that when somebody say something about your weight, I want you to call a therapist. If you don't know, I want you to leave a comment, DM me, go to my inbox, go to my um, email, send me an email. If you need resources to find a therapist, let me know. We'll help you. Okay? Because your response should be, I figured it was my stomach. Because, baby, every time I wake up in the morning, I have to stuff this thing down in them pants. It get a little heavier every time. I walk and I'm losing breath because it's so heavy carrying and my back is hurting. I figured it was my stomach. And they say, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to change your eating pattern, your eating habits. You're not going to eat after this. You're going to eat this, and that. And we're going to start there. And then once you lose a little bit of weight, we're going to really start working on it. If you can take somebody telling you you fat and not become offended, you ready for me. If you can't take somebody telling you that you fat without being offended, you're not ready for me. Because again, I have heard my entire life my tone, and I'm not changing my tone. You got to change you. I'm not in this to change me. I know who I am. I am in this to help you find out who you are. I am in this to help you rediscover who you are and for you to make the changes that you feel appropriate for you, not me. Not me. And you may say, can you say this like that? Of course. I can tell it to you like that. But is that gonna help you? Let me know before I do that. If me saying it this way is going to help you, tell me. And if you say yeah, and I say why, and you say because my mama used to talk to me like that, I'm gonna say, oh, okay. We don't want to send you backwards, okay? We don't want to re-traumatize you because see, you know the answer. You know that that will trigger you, okay? Follow me. I'm not doing this from a place of not knowing. Prior to me coming into this decision, therapy was my thing. Follow me. I'm not a coach that went and did a day. I have spent 6 years in school learning this stuff and been in the field for some years with this stuff. Pray for me. I don't know what I was doing. Yes, I do. So I don't want to re-trigger you, but I'm going to ask you if you know that that is the problem, and if you know that you're going to see me like Ruby, do you really want me to change my voice or do my tone, or do you want to continue working on that? I'm gonna ask you that because if those things that still trigger you can still trigger you, are you fully in control? Now, when I say I'm not gonna be around anybody like Ruby, my husband just like Ruby, I'm still around him. I'm fully in control though. I'm not gonna let him hurt me. I'm not gonna let anyone hurt me. So you can be around me. I'm gonna acknowledge that you like Ruby. Gone over there, child. Gone. Because I'm not gonna let you hurt me. But I'm not going to respond to your actions of being like Ruby. I'm not gonna respond to that characteristic of you being like Ruby. I am in control of me. That makes sense? So you acting like Ruby may remind me of Ruby. You ain't triggering me into doing anything. Remember, triggering means to trigger into. That trigger is going to now cause you to do this and that. I'm in control of me. You can't trigger me into doing anything I don't want to do. I am fully in control of everything that I am going to do. So before I react to anything, I ask, How long I'm gonna be in jail if I do this? How much money am I gonna have to pay if I do that? How many lawyers am I gonna need on my team? Oh, am I gonna have to meet my maker? Am I gonna lose my kids? Am I gonna lose my house? Ah, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. So I don't do. I make the decision to do what I want to do. There is nobody else that I can hold accountable for my actions. Just because you push me don't mean I gotta push you back. People be like, "Oh, he pushed me, so I punched him." Oh, okay. Well, let me know when your court date is, okay? Because this in this state, you don't get to protect yourself like that. You don't get to stand your ground in every state. So let me know your court date, then we can resume. Okay? Because you have to be more accountable for yourself, not them be accountable for you. Like, you can't blame the other person for how you responded. So if you come and you say that that triggers me because my mama used to do that, then are you ready? Now I'm not gonna send you back. I'm not gonna force you into something. I just want to know, are you sure you're ready? Because if that was your response, you just may not be ready. Okay? So I want you to think about that. I am where I am right now because of everything that happened to me in my past. I think the way that I think right now because of everything that happened in my past. During that break after my husband was having the conversations, he hate when I say an affair. I didn't have no affair. I didn't even sleep with her. Okay, whatever. Whatever you want to call it, sir. After him and her were having these conversations, it sent me into a bad place. It sent me into a very bad place where I shut down. During that time, though, I got to see some things and understand some things. I understood the reason why I took care of him the way that I was taking care of him. It was as if I was taking care of Ruby again. I seen him like Ruby. So I shut up, I shut down because it was unpredictable. I didn't know what was going to happen. I couldn't really read him like I was reading everybody else, but I did read him because I realized anytime that he felt uncomfortable with me, he felt like I'm going to leave. That was what he would tell me. I'm going to leave. I don't want to be here, and I was afraid of him leaving me. Well, now guess what? I'm not there. I don't give a shit. Leave. Bye. Gone. I figured out because he has been the sole provider of the home. So bye. Do what you gotta do. I don't care no more. It's not that I don't care, but that doesn't control me anymore. Those things used to control me to make me feel like I had to stay and put up with this, and that was a behavior. That was just like if things were uncomfortable for Ruby, and she felt like I needed to release his energy and make them not feel what they making me feel, make them feel bad. I would go upside everybody head in the house. I would get the hollering and screaming and mistreating everybody. Just like my ex husband, when a fight broke out, then an argument broke out, then it became a fight. It was the same thing. So I realized that these characteristics caused me to feel like I had to take care of them. That I was now responsible for them because I didn't want those things to happen. Because these are people that I cared about, I loved, I cherished. And so I didn't want them to feel any type of way because I needed to take care of them. That was something that I put on to take care of. And so that's no longer. And that year of me doing what I do during that time, I realized that my husband was a liar and manipulator. I gave that man everything. I'm not. Wait, I wasn't perfect in this relationship. I wasn't. I wasn't perfect. I was perfect in the very beginning of this relationship, but once I realized that he wasn't no good to me, I became a very imperfect wife, and I need to get my life in some order because to remind you, I fight fire with fire, and I'm not afraid to fight you. Once you tell me who you are and you show me that you don't like me, I don't like you neither. Okay, I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care. We can fight all the time. I don't care about none of that. I'm going to talk to whatever man I want to talk to because that's what I know to do. I know to do these things because that's my way of fighting back. That's my way. I wasn't perfect though. I wasn't perfect. I just started off good. I wasn't perfect. Then I fixed it because I was like, wait, that's not how you do this. You don't. You too old now to be going tat for tat and fire for fire. And, nah, we don't have time for that no more. We don't do that. So I stopped. I seriously, I was like, what I'm doing is wrong, and I stopped. And I stopped. That was it. It's a spider web. It must be a spider just flying around here. So I stopped. Um, that was it. I just stopped. I stopped, and I concentrated, and I then broke things down to him to explain to him why we were here and what we were doing and what I wasn't going to allow to happen anymore. If he wants to leave, he can leave. He hasn't left. He hasn't, and he hasn't even talked about leaving. All he's ever said is that I'm gonna try to do better. I'm gonna try to be a better person. I'm gonna try, and that's very hard for him. What I will say about him, without telling his story, is that he has some very unhealed things that are internally. That if he acknowledged those things, he will have to acknowledge that he hasn't been perfect. Because in his mind right now, he is a perfect being. He doesn't want to see the flaws of him because he has always tried to be such a good person, I guess, to himself that he feels like he's good. That's what he feel like. He feel like I'm good. I'm a good individual and I don't want anybody to see me for anything different. Um he ain't good. And there's some things there. And so and I told him this on yesterday when he told me my tone. I said, no, 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 no. I say, see, this is the difference between coaching and therapy. You need a therapist. I'm not your therapist. I'm not your therapist. I would never tell my husband to go to a coach because he's not ready for a coach. Now this is the thing. He may be ready for a coach, right? If that coach was able to get him to admit he wasn't perfect. Now, sometimes in situations with your coaches, you don't have to go through therapy. If that coach is able to, like I say, ask you that question, do I need, if it still triggers you, are you ready? If you was to answer, I'm not, but if you can show me how to be ready, I can. If you're ready for that, that's different. But if you say I'm not, I don't even know why it really bothered me, then you're not ready. Okay. So if you're in that state of mind where you like, dang, it's something there. I don't know what it is. I don't have to go all the way back to the past. I don't have to relive the past. I don't need a diagnosis. I don't need any of that. I just need to know, like, how do I get out of this? If you're ready for that, then that's fine. So if there's a coach somewhere that can get him to a point where he feels like he can trust them into being vulnerable with them and being open with them and relax with them, then maybe. But I just know I would never be that one because, see, like I said, I don't think he trusts me now to be able to say, um, I take what you say to heart, that I can just do what you tell me to do as my wife, knowing that you don't have no ill intents against me and you've never done anything ill towards me. But I still don't trust you. He has never ever trusted me, and that's because, and like I said, I'm not telling his story. I remind him of something that he wanted that I'm not. So I don't know if I don't remind him of that. I don't know how to word it, but I don't remind him. I remind him of something that he wants that I'm not. But I also, because I am not the person that he wants me to be, he's not able to be the person that he think he wants to be. But he despises this person. We talked about it, so I know it to be true. He despised this person and never realized that he carries the characteristics of this person. Remember when I talk about genes play an important part, but environment plays another. The environment will treat you into trick you into believing something that is not really true. I'm gonna turn around and get hot if we leave it over there because that sun trying to sneak up over there. It's shifting, getting ready to set. Amen. We've been out here all day, y'all. I want y'all to know that we've been out here all day. It is now a quarter to five. We've been out here all day because I said I was going to finish this today, not tomorrow. And so, yeah, we've been out here all day because we're going to move forward from this. This is just that introduction and let you know, it wasn't an easy, it wasn't an easy bringing for me. I'm not talking from a place of unknowing. I'm talking from a place of knowing. I also come with the education background to prove the things that need to help you get through where you need to go through. Um, I have I'm certified at EMDR. I'm certified in child play. I am certified also in drug and I don't know why it's called drug and alcohol. I never understood that, but that's what it's called, drug and alcohol, substance abuse. Um, I am certified to do more than things that I probably need to be able to do. I'm just not certified to be a licensed therapist. I have all my hours. I've done everything in that spot. I've worked in different places doing this, and I've worked with different people doing it. I just, like I said, I failed it by 3 points, and that's fine. But that is something that I have done, and that is not something that I choose to do. I prefer to get you where you need to be right now to get where you need to go, and it doesn't take long. I don't believe that the process that you need is going to take you longer than 6 weeks. I think if I can do you a 6 week class, you're good. 6 months is a real good training in therapy. Okay. 6 weeks is to teach you everything that they taught you in therapy. 6 weeks. Think about it. When you go to practice, you're not going to practice for 6 months. Practice start what? Couple of weeks and then you put out on the field for the practice game. You know what I'm saying? They put you right on the field. So it is not a long thing. It is about 6 weeks. If you are ready for that, I tell you to reach out and you give me a call. You can reach me at 469-918-6488. Once again, it's 469-918-6488. You can reach me there and we can start. I am in the Dallas Fort Worth area. If you want to do this in Zoom and you don't live in the Dallas Fort Worth area and can't do it personal, we can do it in Zoom. We can do it that way. There are different ways to pay for the services. Like I said, I don't have a price on this because I don't want to price you a price on something that you may not be able to do and then that steer you away because I can't afford to pay $300-$400. I'm not here to become rich. I'm here to help you become better. And I can't do that by offering you something you may not be able to do. Okay. And so say you want to lose weight and you're afraid to do so, but you want somebody to help you get there just to start the process. We can do that. If you're here, it's better. If you are in another state, then I would want to help you find somebody that's closer to have somebody there to actually do it. And I'm not talking about a physical coach at that time. I'm talking about a coach that can help you mentally get where you need to be because see what's happening with those who are overweight, there's still something there that needs to be tackled with. There's an eating disorder. There is something there that may need to be helped with before you get out there on that field. Okay. And so there's other ways around that one. If it is something that you are just dealing with and you like, man, maybe you want to be a better mother, a better father, a better. I'm from Chicago. I have that crazy accent of Ebonics that people are like, what are you saying? I say a car. And they're like, what car? And stove and show and shoe. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is over here. I don't never talk right here. It's always up there somewhere. It's chicken. Like, where your chicken come from? Why your chicken over there? It's over there. I don't know. I don't know why everything It's like that. Your shoe, it's everything is here. Nothing is over there. Nothing is right here. I'm never going to honestly ever say car. That's crazy. That'd be right here. It's gonna always be a car. I'm comfortable being me. I never set out to be professional, and I think that was something that really turned me away from the whole idea of therapy because therapists have to be professional. It's hard for them to really come in and be seen for exactly who they are because see professionals, we're not telling our story in therapy, right? We're not telling our story. We're telling the stories of other people unless it's to benefit you. I'm not gonna really tell y'all my story either. After I tell you this, I ain't gonna talk about it no more because it's not about me, it's about you. But in therapy, we don't even do this. We don't give you this big old background on where it come from and how it was built, and we don't do that in therapy. Um, it's that professionalism. I don't carry it. I may just say like, "Damn, that was fucked up." I may say that professionally. They be like, "Oh, did she curse?" I did because see, that's who I am. I did. I don't want to make it look like I'm something that I'm not. Y'all want me to come in here and give y'all something and someone that I'm not, and then have you done under the illusion that that's how you supposed to be? I'm trying to teach you to be you. I can't teach you to be you if I don't even demonstrate who I am. If I don't show you the true identity of myself, how can I then teach you to be you? Exactly. I can't. I can't. I cannot tell you to be comfortable doing anything you have ever done and being okay with people. No, I'm not okay to. I don't care that you all know that I had sex at 12. I don't care. I don't care. What can you do with that information? Hmm. Imagine that. What can you do with that information? Once I gave it to you, what can you do with it? Besides tell me, and that's why you had sex at 12. I did. You ain't lie. I did. Am I supposed to be upset about that? That's the majority of a lot of the problems with us is that we put out this information and then when people bring it back to us, we like, why would you say that? Why would you throw that in my face? That is not throwing it in your face. That is reality. You did. You did have sex at 12. Okay. And I gave you that information. I told it to you. So what can you do with it? Nothing. Nothing but what I allow you to do with it. So if I was to have an emotional response to that, like, dang, why would you say that? Why would you talk about me like that? Why would you tell everybody that I had sex at 12? As if I didn't just put it on YouTube for everybody to know. Oh my God. Silly of me. What would it do that? I'm very sarcastic, right? I'm a little bit of an asshole. Okay. I am. I am. I'm a little bit of that. I'm very caring and compassionate though. Don't get it twisted. I love people, so I don't hurt nobody. But I'm be very sarcastic. You're like, I can't stand her, but let me go back tomorrow and see what she got to say. Because what I told you was so informational. It was a lot of information and it was very informative. And so, this right here, if you listen all the way through, you'll be like, yeah, it was very informative. She did give me a lot of information. Even in this time of her being her goofy little self, it was. Because what can people do to me with the information I gave to them? Think about that. If I didn't want anybody to know about it, I wouldn't have did it with anybody present. What they say, don't commit a crime with other people because other people gonna tell on you. They gonna throw it back in your face. So I would have never did it with other people if I didn't want nobody to know. So people already knew anyway. So it's the same thing. If I give you information, I'm like doing a crime with you. And I expect you to do what you're supposed to do. And that's tell because you're a person. Right? So I'm not gonna be offended by you saying anything to me about anything that I said. And if I am, then that's a me problem, not a you problem. That's something I got to deal with. Because why did I allow that to bother me? Hmm. Why did that truth from you bother me? That's like my mama telling me, you was bad as a kid. And was. But I wasn't, right? But I was. I was. I had my days. My police record is showing. I didn't get suspended because I got suspended one time from school, and I found out you don't get suspended from school, baby. You don't get suspended from school because Ruby will make you watch every baseboard in that house and watch every wall after she done kicked your ass. It wasn't no reward to get suspended, so I learned to fight people outside of school. So I caught you off the bus once the bus left, because if I fought while the bus was still there, then I still got suspended from school. So I waited till the bus left. Now they got to call the police. That was different. You had to fight with the law. It was just different. So yeah, I was argumentative. I was very much so that. So my mama would say something, I get the last word. She would always say, "Why you got to get the last word?" Because I am. I learned how to argue. Great with Ruby. Learned how to fight with Ruby. I learned how to be strong with Ruby. I learned how to be willing with Ruby. I learned that with Ruby because Ruby taught me that. Ruby taught me that. She most definitely taught me how to be. I got more water, y'all, because I'm gonna need more. But we almost done though. But she taught me how to be that. She taught me how to survive in this world. I thank her for that. Because if it wasn't for Ruby, I'd be like Ruby. Ruby is suffering, and that's Ruby's story. I won't tell Ruby's story. I know a little bit of it. I don't know a whole lot because Ruby didn't tell it all. Because that's her story. She didn't want nobody to throw that back in her place. But what I do know about Ruby, I won't tell. But I do know that Ruby is still having issues with some unresolved things from her own life. Okay, and so because of that reason, she dealt with it how she did. So she taught me how to survive. Joyce taught me how to love. Joyce taught me how to be dramatic. So that's why I'm so sarcastic. I'm animated when I talk. Joyce taught me that. I think the two of them together, put together, it taught me how to be that. I think that's where the sarcasm comes from, is Ruby and Joyce. Like, Joyce was outspoken and talk, but she wasn't aggressive. She was quiet, mild, and docile. She didn't argue with my daddy. Ruby would tear a house down with a man. She didn't care. She beat that man backwards. Not my mama. My mama was more like, I let him have his day. I never heard my mama and daddy argue. Never. I heard my mama tell my daddy one time, if you burn that fish and that's all the key got to eat. That's all I heard her say. I guess that was enough. I don't know what else came behind it, but I knew there was gonna be a problem by the tone that she carried when she said that. Okay, that's all I ever heard. I never heard anything else from my mama and my daddy. I never heard no argument. Ruby, I heard plenty of it. So I learned how to juggle things differently with them. And as I became older and more wiser, I learned how to put those things into place in my own life and start using them how I needed to use them. And in therapy, I learned how to use it theory wise. I learned the science behind it. And so now it started to make more sense. And so I bring in like a triangle of things. So I got genetics, environment, and facts. Okay. So it's sort of kind of, how does that now work together? And so that's why I say I don't really need to know about your past. I just need to know where you're at right now. Because if this is where you're at right now, and I feel that you are ready for coaching, then we can coach this through for 6 weeks. If you need 8 weeks, we can go there. I would say 4 weeks is good for some. We'll do 6. So you are prepared to look for me out here in this area if you want to do uh, like a workshop with other women. And if you want to even do it with men, let me know, because then I will have men to come along that could speak with the men on a man's point of view and mindset. I have plenty of those individuals that are around me as well right now. And so if you want to come in from that point of view, we can also do that as well. I don't talk about religion. Um, with individuals. If you want to, I can. I don't, but I don't, because it's not. As I said, I'm not a religious person. I'm very spiritual. Um, I'm very much so human. I don't really look at the religion of things because it was. It's not for me to do. I don't speak on it. Okay. Um, So if you want to do a retreat and you have a group of women, then let me know and I'll come and I'll do. You tell me what you want to talk about. I talk about certain things. I don't get into the mindset of those who are on medication because that is a difference. You know what I'm saying? That's different. Coaching is different than coaching with medication. It's a little different for me. It may not be different for others, but for me, I would prefer to um, get you with somebody else that will work there. I want to work with your mind in a more sober manner than one that is under medication. So those who are bipolar, for instance, let's talk there real quick. Got a couple of minutes. Those that are bipolar, that they're taking medication for that, right? If you wanted to come in and talk about bipolar, that's not what I'm talking about. This is emotional. This is emotional wellness coaching. Let's talk about the emotions that are there behind the things that you have learned and you're now learning. You want to learn how to get away from that and live a better life. As far as being bipolar and going through depression, that's something different. That's something different, okay? And so that's what my therapists are for. And so if you don't have a therapist and you may think you need one, then let me know. Then I would most definitely help you find that. But that's not my ram of things that I want to do right now. You're going through anxiety, call me. If you're going through depression, you have severe depression, and you have mild depression, call me. Call me. You're going through borderline, call me. Somebody gave you a diagnosis of being a narcissist, call me. You have a diagnosis of an antisocial personality disorder, call me. Avoidant, call me. Schizophrenia and schizos, and don't call me. That's a different. It's different, okay? But as far as those who are dealing with those, that's a mindset. That's a thought process. You think this way because you feel this way. Call me. We can do that. But that is only after you have established why that thought process is there. You can't call me before as a borderline and deny you have ever been abandoned. Nope. You can't call me as a narcissist and say you've never been bullied, that you don't suffer with low self esteem, that your parents wasn't very abusive. Mm. You can't call me as a historian and say you've never been sexually abused. When you can admit those things to a therapist and say, I'm ready to deal with it, and this is how I feel, well, I'm ready. If you can say, you know what, I use drugs because I like using drugs. I had the opportunity to shoot it up in my arm, in between my toes, and on the side of my penises. And it felt amazing when I put it in the vein of my neck. But I don't want to do that no more. I learned how to do that with my mother, my brothers, my father, my old girlfriend, my old boyfriend. And I know that anytime this smell comes across my nose, it triggers me to make me feel like I have to do it again. I want to talk to you. But if you say, I do it because, everybody else around me doing it, it feel good, but everybody else doing it, then, I get so mad and I feel like I gotta do it. You ain't ready to call me, don't call me. Unless you need some help finding somebody to call. If you are in a crisis and you feel suicidal, if you feel like the world is on your shoulders, if you feel that you are all alone and you are not gonna make it until tomorrow, but you want to make it until tomorrow, I want you to call. There's, I think, in different places there are different numbers, But if you call me, we're going to get you to the right people right away. I don't want you to feel like you're alone in this in any shape, form, or fashion, because you're not. The team that is going to be built will be there to help people 24 hours a day. You are never alone in this. And the reason why is because we're giving back to people that felt they were alone, who found out they were not alone. Because in this universe, the universe has always kept them protected. That's my testimony. And we use testimony and everything. It has nothing to do with religion. Remember, I am spiritually. And I thank God for allowing me to have a spiritual connection with the Most High. I am blessed to never have ever been left in this world alone. In the times that I should have been taken out, the times that I should have had my mind swiped away from me, the moments I should hate people and my heart should have been hardened. God did not allow that to happen because I was always protected in this universe by somebody. There was women around me that installed some of the greatest things into me. There were even men that were my coaches that came in and told me some of the most amazing things ever. There were teachers that came into my life and told me things that I now believe and I rekindled back into my life. So I've always been protected. I've never been alone. Even when I felt I was alone and I felt I wanted to give up and I felt I wanted to just die. I felt that the world was on my shoulders and I was tired of this man being on top of me when I didn't want him on top of me. I was tired of her hitting me. I was tired of him misusing me. I was tired of him not loving me. I was tired. I was empty. I was weak. I wasn't alone. And that's the joy in knowing that I shouldn't be here right now talking to you. Not in this same mind. Not with a smile. I should hate. I should be divorced. I should be bitter. I shouldn't even have made it this far. But I thank God that I made it. God allowed me to make it this far. Because you needed me. I didn't know you needed me. And I'm happy you did. And my cup is full. And when it's not, I'll tell you. I'm gonna transfer this call. And I'm gonna keep you on the call until that person comes through. Because I don't never want you to feel like you ever alone. Because you're never alone. This universe has supplied you with people like me that are going to bring other people like me into this world that are going to genuinely love doing what we do. That we are going to know that we don't have no money in doing this. We may not get paid anything, or we may get paid everything. But we're gonna already be so well paid, taken care of, and it's not gonna matter. I don't work a job. Damien, he takes care of everything. He does. And what I say, if he leave, that's fine. Go on, do what you gotta do. I'll figure it out. The world ain't left me yet. This universe ain't left me yet. It ain't gonna leave me now. But I'm not gonna be abused and mistreated by anyone anymore. I'm not gonna give anybody anything and be their punching bag. I'm not gonna do that. You angry, you tell me you angry, and then I know that you're talking to me about what you're talking to me in the tone that you're saying it in because you told me you're angry right now. And I'm not gonna take it personal. But if you come in and you just swing on me, I'm gonna swing back like, wait a minute, hold on, what you doing? Don't do that. Okay? Wait, stop. Stop. What was that for? And then you can say, I'm so angry. Say that first. Say that first. Don't just come in swinging. Oh, okay. Now I know when you come in, the next day I say, wait, you ready? I got my punching. I got my gloves on today. You ready? We can do this. Come on, put them up there. Let's move. I know now because I learned you. I know about you, so I don't have to take you offensive because I know it's not towards me. But prepare me for that. I prepare you, right? I prepared you so far. So I'm not allowing anybody to come in and mistreat me. People around me know I'm passionate about what I do. I love doing what I do. So I may get hyper. I may talk like, whoa, whoa, don't do that. Yesterday he said, you said, ah. I said, did I say it like that? And he said, well, that's a little exaggerated. I said, because that ain't what I said. What I said is this because you were out there the last time when I said it and I was behind the door. So I thought maybe I had to speak louder. But because he sees and hears everything that I say, and I'm talking about Cunningham, he sees and hears everything that I say in such a negative, he heard it as a bad thing because he sees me as another individual. He doesn't see me for who I am. So that's why I said I'm not finna change who I am when I told you who I was. So I may not be a fit for you, but I may be a fit for somebody who know that they need tough love. It's tough for me to be like this to you, but it's love on you to be able to embrace what I'm doing and know that I mean it from my heart. Know when you call me at 3 o'clock in the morning after cursing me out, I'm still gonna get up and be where you need me to be. Knowing that I'm still gonna be there and I'm never gonna leave you alone because I know right now this is a hard time. You've been practicing throwing that ball out there and your arm not hurt. I know that right now you processing the information that you just heard and you're understanding and it was hard and now you need to know how to process this part of that information. I know it's hard. Now, I don't want you to feel alone. So if you need 10 minutes, 15 minutes of my time to say, what you taught me today was hard. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I did it. And I'm going to reassure you that you can do it again tomorrow, the next day, however you want to do it. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there until God says I am no longer here. Until that dirt is thrown on me, I'm going to be there for you. And I want you to know my intentions are never hard, meant to hurt you. If I feel like I hurt you, I'm going to apologize because that's not my intentions. I'm not apologizing for what I said. I'm apologizing because what I said hurt you. I'm not apologizing for what I said because what I said probably needs to be said, but I don't want you to be hurt behind what I said. It needed to be said, and maybe I could have found another way to say it. Let's see if I can try that. Let me go back. Let me see. Hold on. Before I say this, let me say it this way first. Wait, that still wasn't right. Hold on. Give me another chance. Let me see. Hold on. Let me just go back to the drawing board because maybe that play you don't understand yet. Let me take it back. Let me take it back. And then let's do this again. Let's go over from yesterday, step one. Let's start yesterday. Let's start here. That's why I say 6 weeks, not 4. Let's go 6 weeks. Because maybe it's not you. Maybe it's me. I'm not perfect. And what works for you may not work for somebody else. And I noticed that you had the same characteristics of that person, but you're not that person. So maybe I just assumed that you could do it. I made an ass out of myself. I'll be damned. So let me start over. I'm okay with admitting when I'm wrong. I can hold myself accountable. You got to be prepared for me to hold you accountable as well. This won't be easy, but it's only as hard as you allow it to be. If you wake up in the morning and you say today is going to be an easy day, it's going to be an easy day. If you wake up in the morning and you say today I'm prepared for everything she going to tell me, you prepared. Because throughout that entire time, all you going to do is tell your mind, I'm prepared. Your mind is not in control of you. You're in control of your mind. You tell your mind that you are prepared to hear what is getting ready to be said. And you receive it how it needs to be said. You don't hear the tone, you hear the words, you hear the message. It's like singing a song. Everything in that song didn't attract your attention, but that one thing did. And now you want to hear the whole song. Now you hear the beat. Now you hear the timbre. Now you dancing. Yeah. Uh. Now you hear the whole song. But it wasn't the whole song that grabs your attention. It was that one thing that you needed to hear. It was that one thing that you needed to hear. And that is what you're going to tell your mind. And you're going to be in control of you because it's you, myself, and I. And I'm going to leave you there. You, myself, and I. Who are you in it? That's all I want to know. Is who are you in it? You all call me when you need me.